Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to talk about a topic that in the last couple of hours, I guess you could say, has been a really big topic that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are discussing and talking about. And it's a topic that I'm going to talk about different key points and everything about that and my thoughts on it. I wasn't originally planning to do this video today, or make a video even for that matter, but as I was actually watching Arc V on my computer because I got home early from work and just was enjoying it, I decided, you know what, I want to talk about this topic. I do have an opinion on it, so let's discuss about it. So what is happening to DN right now, if you don't know, and what is necessarily going on and what has happened and transpired is a company. I don't know if you would technically call them a law firm, but they have legal rights to Yu-Gi-Oh. So they messaged the admin, the creator of DN, stating that we have filed an order that you take down the images from your website, pretty much. Now, I know there's a lot of legal mumble jumble, you know, does DN have the rights? Yes, I feel like DN was in that bounds that they could use the images from Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer, okay? I don't know all the ins and outs, but that's pretty much what happened. And people believe that Konami is pushing them doing this. Granted, we don't even know if the law firm did it on their own action or Konami got them to do this. We don't know. There's so little information. We just are making a lot of people are just out there making assumptions right now that Konami's doing it. Konami's doing it because Konami does crazy, stupid stuff. We don't know. We don't know. There's not enough information. The creator of DN stated that he will release more information when it becomes available, but this is all he knows as of right now, and he's just following the proceedings. Granted, in the past, DN has had this problem before. Apparently there was a thing where Konami tried to make them legally take things down a couple years ago, I remember, and it was actually turned out to be false. People have tried to hack into DN and mess with the servers before. There's been a lot of things with DN. But DN was one of the first online, I guess you say, it's the most popular and was the first really big online server that catered to the masses of Yu-Gi-Oh players out there. And even right now, I checked it before I did this video, there's a lot of people still playing on DN right this moment. I mean, a good amount of people in unrated, rated, you know, there's a good amount of people out there. Just because the images have been taken down does not mean the server is not working. It just means the images are gone. That's all it means. The server is still working perfectly fine, so I'm just here to let you know DN is still alive and well right now. I just got on it. It looks like it would any day at this time. So yeah, people are still on it. It's not, people I feel like are making it sound like, oh, the server's dead, you know, they closed, that, you know, the banning DN. No, it just means the images were taken away. That's all it means. And people are hypothesizing that this may happen to Dev Pro and Yu-Gi-Oh Pro and things of that nature, other servers. And we don't know. They haven't done it yet. If we wake up tomorrow, yeah, it may happen, but it's only to DN. Which does seem a little bit suspicious. Sorry guys, I got a cough in me. Ooh, pollen, allergy season. But yes, what I was trying to say is, it does sound kind of suspicious that only DN got this. Now granted, we could wake up tomorrow and it could be a different story, but we don't know yet. On the flip side, I feel like people are making this a big problem, and I think the reason for this is because a lot of players in the community are just getting fed up with Konami. And we've done this before, the community's been fed up with Konami before, but I have to admit, this time around, it feels a little different, where people are just like up in arms about Konami. They're like, I'm sick and tired of this. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And I'm going to do a video probably talking about this in the next couple of weeks, where I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh is going through this change, or a metamorphosis, I guess you could say. And I'll discuss this more in depth of my reasons why, but I just feel like Yu-Gi-Oh is going through this metamorphosis, and people don't like change. They like things staying the same, but Yu-Gi-Oh is starting to go through that right now, the growing pains, and people are I think DN, it just goes to a laundry list of problems where people are like blaming Konami. They're just jumping to conclusions. We don't know. We can assume it could be because they want to push a new game online that's good. You know, that's not really good. They haven't had a good online game since probably World Championship Series back in the day, back in the 2000s. But those are actually pretty good DS games I used to play when I was a little bit younger, for testing decks and everything and building deck ideas. It was kind of fun. But really, since then, they've just had pay-to-play things online, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Bam was it was horrible. They've made a couple of good things here and there, but it's nothing like the caliber of DN or Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, whatever server you use. So I feel like if they want to press a product or make anyone in the community actually use it, that's actually a real player, they're going to have to really step it up, and they haven't shown that. Granted, we don't know if Konami's even doing this. There's so many what ifs and possibilities and hypotheses going around that I think we just need to let the dust settle and see what happens. Maybe this is the end of DN? Possibly. But people also have other servers they can use. DN was really nice to use for streaming because it was good for dueling with friends and everything, but dueling random people on DN was the worst thing I think I could do in my life. I think that was the worst waste of time sometimes, dueling random people on DN. Not my subscribers like I've done on stream, but I'm just talking about like randomly going and raided and I have to start from the bottom to the top. It was just awful, boring stuff. Granted, it was more similar to real life, but still, it was, when you're trying to learn a deck and learn all the intricacies and the rulings, it was kind of a bit harder. So, I mean, to each his own, I guess you could say, pretty much. Some people are really mad about it. Some people I just think are making a big fuss about it because it goes to a laundry list of problems with Konami, possibly, even though we don't even know if it's Konami. And at the end of the day, we just gotta see where it all ends up. I think people are blowing this way out of proportion. A lot of people are saying, well, if Konami has time to do this, why don't they make a ban list, which is kind of funny and true, but we don't even know if it's Konami doing this or the organization doing it, or it could be completely fake and fabricated like before, which has happened on DN before. So, I mean, let's just play it out and see what happens, but I think it would, if it was true and it was for fruition, I feel like that it could cause some problems and be some backlash to Konami. If it actually was Konami, I think it would cause some backlash from the community. It would cause some people to be very upset and very angry. And I think it, in some respects, would have a detriment to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community as a whole. Why do I say this? Because DN's the easiest thing to get on. Granted, I prefer Dev Pro and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro any day of the week, but for randomly just getting on at any time, you know, you can log on, you don't have to download everything, it's just there. DN is probably the best of that way. That's probably one of the reasons why it's one of the most popular one. We may not all like it, we may not like using it, but it is the most popular. There's no doubt about that. Granted, if you think the community is toxic on there, I mean, that's up to you, but I'm just saying, it is popular, and a lot of people do go to that to use it because of how easy access it is. That's what got me originally drawn from it. It's a great place to actually duel against your friends. You can duel like you're dueling with your friends right in front of you, and it's perfectly fine. So there's pros and cons to it. I think it will have an effect if this does not get resolved, but at the same time, I think people are blowing it out of proportion way too much, and people are still playing it right now and using it without the, you know, the system is still working. It's just there's no pictures. So that's just me saying that. I'm gonna end my video here because I'll just be rambling on for another while. But I do want to do some videos, and will mention that I'll probably be doing these videos and making them probably on Monday, like I always do. That's my day that I make videos for everybody. If they just want to know, it's Mondays. But there's a couple of videos I want to do and talk about, so I'll discuss that here. There's a video I want to discuss about talking about the metamorphosis of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And how I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is evolving and changing. What may it become in the future, I do not know, but I want to talk about this. Second off, I want to talk about how people feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. It's going to die. It's going to die out. And I think that's another thing I'll mention quickly is people are just attaching this to the topic, which has been going around, you know, for the longest time in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. It's probably one of the most discussed topics ever, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dying. And people could argue, well, it's been dying since the beginning. It could be dying. I don't think it's personally dying, but I do want to do a video talking about that again. I did one like over the summer, but it's a topic that, especially right now, people are really talking about, and I've talked about it at locals, with friends, online, with subscribers, everything. And I just want to discuss it again. And I feel like people are just tacking on this DN issue as another reason to show, hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. even though that's a grain of that's not a lot of evidence right there. I feel like there's some evidences here and there, but that's for another video, like I said. But those are just some topics I'm probably going to be discussing in the future. For you guys that are wondering, I do not think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. I think it's just going through a change phase. We get these type of things where formats are just horribly bad and people just don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. And it does happen. And it happens every couple, maybe 2 to 3 years. Dragon Ruler format was the last time this happened, I feel like. And again, it's happening now. The format's stale. The format, people don't like it. They think it's broken. Believe me, I feel like, and you don't have to quote me on this, but I feel like when Blue Eyes comes out and Dark Magician comes out, you can't tell me that people are going to pick up those decks and want to play those decks and make those decks possibly competitive. Look at Blue Eyes over in the OCG right now. It's actually doing good. So, you know, people may want to try and make that competitive, not just me. And that may bring older players back into the community. So, that's what I'm just going to say there. I think there's good things to look forward to in 2016. Stop looking at the negative, please. And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Take care, everybody, and get your game on.